Show. We're ready to rock and roll, and if you are, so am I. Right now, Microsoft up to 404, 405, and starting to go. These damn shares, what the? Oh my God, disaster strikes. What else is new? All right, there goes Microsoft at 408. Let's go. This show is brought to you by Benzinga. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I don't have anything on Softy yet, but it is moving around right now. We'll get it as soon as Benzinga has it right now. Microsoft up to 415, now back down to 408. Thank you so much. Welcome to the recap show. You can see what we're going to talk about today. It's AMD, it's Microsoft. It can't see it, but it's Google. We should have that scroll, actually. Google and then Starbucks, and as soon as we see them come across the board, we will have that right now for you. Check out to see if AMD is out. Thank you, everybody, for being here right now. I do not see AMD. This is a 1-minute chart down here. As this starts to move, we'll have more stuff for you. Who's here with me right now? Quickly, it's roll call time. Get this out of here. Close that poll. Hey, everybody. Nice to see ya. Thank you, everybody, for coming through again, as we'll do a roll call in a bit. But right now, it's AMD. It's Microsoft. We're going to wait for them all. I have Benzinga Pro here. We also have this brought to you by Trade Ideas. Let's just stop it, start it, refresh, and let's get going. Anything moving here in the aftermarkets will show up on our little scanner. Here's Microsoft 407. I'm going to assume we are not out yet, as not much has been happening. I'm still looking, guys. We have Benzinga Pro right here. As it hits, we will drop that for you immediately. Today, URA. Hey, what's up to Michael Noss? We had him on yesterday, and we were talking all about URA. He likes this name, uranium, back up to the upside. OIH today. Downside, of course, that's going to be oil. I'm still looking. I'm still looking. As soon as something hits, everybody, I will get that for you. Thank you to everybody who's watching. We now have more people watching now than we did on the afternoon show. So bang right there. Thank you so much for everybody joining. We are also live on Twitter right now. So, man, we're ready to rock and roll. We're just waiting for earnings to hit. And when they do, we will have that brought to you by Benzinga Pro. There's Google. Google is out. Let's go over to see what Google's doing right now. SpaghettiOs. Google downside. Microsoft is out as well. Google right now, 164, beating 159. We've seen Google make moves down last earnings. Let's see where that goes right now. It's also showing Softy with a beat. Do we want stocks to beat? I don't know. There goes Softy down to 404 right now. So it's Google and Microsoft, the two names that are out. Google down 143 and counting right now for Google. It's on the mat. Can it get back up? Let's go find out. Google right now, all we have is the EPS, 164 versus 159. It might not be clear moving forward for Google. Are they guiding? We'll find out as soon as that hits on Benzinga. But where are we buying this name? Hey, let's take a little trip down memory lane. What about the 50 period? 138.75. Watch out for that. All we're doing is pulling back, man, for Google. We've just pulled back into 140. Google with a downside push. All I have is EPS. As far as Microsoft, Microsoft is out. We talked about that. Microsoft pulling down right now, down 2%. Let's go find out why. Let's call back Benzinga again. Here we go. 293 EPS for Google, for Microsoft, sorry, beats sales, beating. Why are we going down? Why are we going down? Anybody that's around here can maybe help me find that out. Benzinga to the downside right now. Google to the downside. Microsoft to the downside. Is AMD out yet? No, it is not. Is Starbucks out? Take a Starbucks. Right now, Starbucks not out. There's no way that's an out. 92 down there for Starbucks. So here it is. Microsoft coming with an idea here from Benzinga again. We'll watch it. This is the 1-minute chart. Right here. There's Starbucks is out. Intelligent cloud revenue up, it looks like. 25, that's good, man. They want that cloud revenue. Productivity, 19 billion. Personal computing revenues, 25 billion. Google Cloud Services revenue, 76. Starbucks, let's go find out. They miss. I told you, I don't know where Starbucks is going, but I said the risk to Starbucks was the consumer. We do not want consumer names. We talked about that. Consumer right now, maybe weak, maybe strong. You want enterprise names. You want names that are selling to businesses, not Starbucks selling to me and Adara and Ramin. You want the consumer names out of your portfolio into names that are industrial names, selling to bigger companies. I like the industrials, and I do like Google, Microsoft, Meta, all of them. But right now, there's a downside push for Starbucks ending the day at $95, now pushing into 90. That goes Starbucks. Now making a move back upside. Let's go see if Benzinga has anything else on Starbucks right now. Oh man, traders stay late. You guys are staying with me, man. This is a busy one. There's Alphabet today. Cloud revenue, $9 billion. Global sales up 5%. America up 7%. Shout out to everybody in North America helping that out. What's up to everybody here in the chat? Bang for joining me, but let's go over and look at some stocks. Right now it's AMD. We have Brian Shannon coming. We're going to ask him all about all these prints. Right now, AMD down to 169, not out. Microsoft, are we holding on to 4 bills or what? Microsoft touches 401. 384, yeah, you can pull back a lot more for Microsoft. I'm not excited about many of these names until we get into levels, and we can come look at Microsoft right here. 380, 350, that's what I like. That would also be the 50 period. Let's just see what Google's doing as well. Google pushing, that sucks, man. Google down 5. Remember, last report, last quarter, Google was down 9%. We just touched highs for Google, now pulling back for that name. So it's Google, it's Microsoft, and it's Starbucks. The big names are out. Is AMD out? No, I do not see AMD. So those of you talking on the chat here, I do not see AMD out. This market is exciting to trade. What else is out? It's Mondelez right now. If you did want to see some of the names that were moving around today, normally we do sector watch. What am I going to say to you guys? Gold, blah, 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 0.1, that's nice. SPY down today, Q's down today. The reason why the market was down, we had a nice push down in Apple. I'm worried about Apple. We had a Chinese analyst came out today and said 30 to 40% less iPhone shipments over the last couple weeks. It's Hydration Nation, what's up? All right, there we go. Get down, AMD, we're waiting for that. 4:15, they're saying AMD comes out. But Google and Microsoft are pulling back in right now. Let's see if there's any more news on this. Anything here that we see that we want to talk about, I'm going to hit it for you. Hawaiian Holdings? Nah. Let's go. Starbucks right now. Active memberships, 34 million, whatever, up 13%. We're not worried about that. It's the sales numbers here for Starbucks that are setting this down. Globally, 5%. North America, 7%. Must be lower than expected there for the biggest and the baddest coffee chain out there. That is Starbucks. But Google's trying to hold out right now, 144. Nice downside push for Google. Here's that Apple trade that we talked about a little bit earlier. We actually shorted this. Let's go down to, actually, let's just zoom out a little bit here on Apple. Or not. There it is. So here's Apple from 191, man. I know Neil was shorting this baseline there. That was good. We didn't play it until we broke 190. And it just kept on going the rest of the day. So Apple today sort of giving people an indication of what could possibly happen to some of these names. Apple touched, what was it, 198? 196.50, pulling back to 187. Not great there for Apple. EA Sports is out. A lot of us like EA Sports. Nice downside move for EA into 128. Again, EA Sports, I like the name because it's in the game. Also, the fact that you're pulling back into this 135 level right there, I wonder about that buyout potential. I mean, you had Activision Blizzard with Microsoft. We'll see if that's hitting Microsoft's numbers as we get that report tonight. Obviously, though, we'll talk about Activision. We said that they were going to lay off a couple of their gaming positions there for the physical gaming, going into more cloud space. But EA could be on somebody's watch again. Anytime you pull back, that's the 200 period, 129.30. Look at that bottom, 128.14. EA Sports, it's in the stock, and it's downside right now for that name. Let's just quickly go. Is AMD out? No, it is not, but Microsoft is out. I do want to talk to Brian about Microsoft. Where can we possibly pick up some softy on these dips down? This is a major name. It's the largest position in the S&P 500 percentage-wise. It's the largest holding in the NASDAQ. So let's just quickly check out if we're getting a pullback in the NASDAQ a little bit. I mean, this is not going to be a big effect, but down to 424 and change. We'll find out about that. There are some trades that traders will put on, and that is like a hedge with the NASDAQ. So if you're a little bit nervous about Microsoft earnings, but you're not sure of the way, you can actually play NASDAQ options and put on like maybe a straddle or a butterfly one way if you're nervous about it, instead of maybe calling out your shares or putting it on individually. Because we have Microsoft today, the biggest, and then we have Apple on Thursday. So consider doing some of that. If you're interested in it. But right now, there's the pushback down for the Qs. Let's just go check on Google again, another big piece, down to 144. I'm going to be buying some Google tomorrow, honestly, into 139, 140. You know, we've been raising some cash with NVIDIA, although that looks stupid. Well, not really. This is where we sold it. But NVIDIA still, huge moves, man. Any downside push. And guess what? NVIDIA is about to get super spicy because we are minutes away. And I just want to thank everybody for watching, man. Look at this. 4,700 people right now online. Let's do a bang for that. Let's just do a quick roll call. If you're here, we're going to celebrate this. This is the largest watched audience of all time for any market recap show, period. I made that part up. But for us, yes, probably higher than CNBC. No one even watches that show. They have some guy up there talking. I don't even know what he's talking about right now. There it is. Okay. What's up, Toilet Brush? What's up, Ben? What's up, Llama Mama? Hey, what's up? He said my name. That's nice. What's up to Wuko? What's up to Jason, Tom's Trades? Look, we have the best in the business coming up very, very soon with Brian Shannon. So you think that this show is great right now? It's about to get leveled up. Give me 5 minutes and we'll bring that guy on. Great show. Thank you so much. What's up to Mitch? What's up to Rob EV, Magic 8 Ball? You love lasagna as well? So do I, my paisan. You don't have to be Italian to love lasagna. Lasagna is, classic. Right there. Quick check on Google. Again, if anything does come through, here we go. Let's just see what's going on in the stock. So Google's hanging around 144. What does Benzinga say? They say this right now. Alphabet, YouTube ad revenue, 9.2 billion. I think these guys paid 10 billion for YouTube. Pardon me. Now, quarterly ad revenue is 10 billion. Unbelievable Google, man, with YouTube. Alphabet, Google Search, and others. Oh, it's only 48 billion for the quarter. There's not even that many names that have the market cap of 48 billion, okay, guys? And Google is just brushing that off their shoulder for quarterly revenues on their search. There it is, advertising, higher. We talked about why we liked Google, better advertising numbers. If you're gonna advertise, where else are you going? I'll tell you, Meta and Google. Buy those damn dips if you can. Match Group is out right now. If you do not have a match, go over to Match. Match right now, 0.81 versus an estimate 0.49. I don't even know. I mean, they're a dating site, right, I guess. MTCH right now, shout out to my wife. I got 99 problems. Matching ain't one for me. $36. Nice move to the downside right now as we pull back in there. 35, maybe a level for Match Group, but we ain't too interested in that. Hey, we are minutes away from advanced micro devices, so you're in the right spot right now with me. I'm going to try to load up my trading software, see if I can get that going right now, because if we can, we would want to see live quotes from AMD as well. So right now, 171 AMD. We're waiting for that. If anything pops through, let's just check Google on those ad revenues. I like them. I think it's great. I'd be buying this dip, man. I like that 140 dip for Google. All right, my software is loading up. Here it is right now, AMD. 171.80. We are moments away. As soon as we load it up, as if it's advanced micro devices, and it is clocked down to the downside, 164 for AMD. What does that look like on a chart, man? You're now rocking with the best. You're rocking with me. It's AMD, and we are downside on advanced micro devices, down to 162. Oops, Brittany, but we did it again. We told you there was problems with AMD. The minute we started to break down, we were like, that's going to be a short. Let's see if it holds. Where are the numbers? Benzinga don't have them, but we have a live quote right there, 165, pushing down for AMD. This is like a drop in the water, guys. This just goes back to last week. Ho-hum, but it's advanced micro devices, and we are out right now. What is this doing to NVIDIA, guys? NVIDIA right now. Who else is going to show you a live level 2? Answer, ain't nobody. You're walking with the best. We've already talked about that. There's NVIDIA, nice downside move for NVIDIA, 625. They're actually holding out pretty well. As AMD right now, 166.65. And here are the numbers. And Mr. Shannon, I'm calling on you very, very soon. Let's just get this going. Advanced Micro Devices right now, Q4 EPS 77 cents, in line. Okay, so we're cool. We're cool. It's in line. Sales rate there, 6.2, beating the estimate. For me, this is all irrelevant until we see the guide. But AMD right now is coming right back up to the upside on that move. So if you bought that dip, you just saw it live, man. We touched down here to 160. If that's not a touchdown, then maybe you got to watch out for Travis Kelce possibly making some more touchdowns in the Super Bowl, because Taylor Swift era. Nice. I still think San Francisco wins, though. I don't know. What do you guys think in the Super Bowl? Downside move for AMD. There it is right now. AMD sees revenues, Q1 revenue. Okay, so here we go. This is the important thing. There's the down guide. So 5.1 to 5.7. Come on, Lisa Sue. What are you doing to us? That's too wide of a range right there. 5.1 to 5.7 versus 5.28. So it's actually a better guide because, I mean, is it? I would have liked to see a solid number. The bottom of that is lower than the estimate, but the high side is much higher. So again, back and forth with AMD, a little push, a little pull. I was saying that you were quite insane possibly to trade anything there off the number, but that's a nice move down. You got that 160 if anyone bought that. If Brian comes on here and says the anchor VWAP was 160, the show's over. That's it, because that was a great bottom there, and I hope he hears me because he's probably going to go find that right now. All right, if we are ready, let's call him up. I just want to quickly look at Google before we do, because there's some talk about Google right now. 144 downside. Mr. Softy is... Oh yeah, Microsoft bounces nicely back up to the upside. I told you, this is the one that I want to buy on weakness. I want to buy Microsoft, and I want to buy Google, I want to buy Meta. So right there, Google gives us that opportunity at 402. Let it settle down. Tesla in the aftermarket, I know. Sean, Tesla didn't report, but that doesn't matter. I just want to see what they're doing here as the NASDAQ's making moves down. And then everybody's favorite coffee chain, although sucks. That's pretty funny, that comes up. Starbucks right there. Okay. Wow, Starbucks really getting bought up from that little level there. So what did Starbucks talk about? We'll find out more about that. But AMD is everyone's cup of coffee right now. AMD makes that move back down to 160. Now a nice move back up. All right, if he's ready, he is. It's Trader Talk. Hey, Brian, we're lucky enough to have you here. I said a comment there because that NVIDIA trade last time went down to 470. It basically stopped on a dime and ripped back up. And then I called you and you're just like, hey guys, the anchor VWAP was about 471 and that was a huge move down. First of all, Brian, how's your day?
Good day. It was busy. I had too much stuff going on. Not enough, too many distractions from the market, but good day anyway.
Okay, well, yeah, hey, you're here anyway, and we thank you for that. Hey, over 4,700 watching. This is a record. So we're also streaming live now on Twitter or on X, and everyone can go find you at Alpha Trends, of course. All right. That was a nice move down for AMD. AMD and these chip names, as everybody is talking about them, right? We had Intel with a little bit of a disappointment, SMCI, rocket chips to the northbound. Anything you're seeing on AMD, looks like it's pulling back, now down 6% on Advanced Micro Devices. What do you have for us, Brian?
Sean, as soon as you said AMD is out, I had my chart there. I was like, Sean, come on, pull up my chart. Let's look at this together.
Yes.
I bought a little bit. I did something I don't typically do, which is to buy some, not as it was pulling back, but I got some at 162 and a quarter. I'm out.
Okay.
By the way, I scalped it. If you can look at my screen, we came down to the year-to-date anchored VWAP.
Well, we'll go over there.
We sliced through it by just a small amount.
1 second, Brian.
75 cents. But that's where the buyers were. So it tells me the message here on the 30-minute chart that I'm looking at on my right.
I'll call it up for 30 minutes for you, Brian. Right now, we are having a little bit of a problem calling up your screen, but here's a 30-minute chart down here. So maybe talk to this.
So what I always look at is the year-to-date anchored volume-weighted average price and from significant lows. Those are both basically in the same place. In fact, if you put an anchor on the year-to-date low. It's within 50 cents of the year-to-date. So I was looking at the year-to-date anchor,
Okay.
and that is right now at 161.50.
1 second,
So,
Brian. We're going to, we have it fixed. We figured out the problem. There it is. There's Brian Shannon's screen. All right.
okay.
So let's go.
So
Show it, Brian.
the purple is from the low this year, which as I said, it's basically in the same place and just giving a little bit more room to the year-to-date anchor. You can see here the year-to-date anchor, basically 161.50. The low on this pullback, 161.73. So within 75 cents on $160 stock, that's where we pulled down to. So when I identify that level right here
Yep.
as a level of interest, we did
Wow.
it for Microsoft today as well. But as it got down there, and this is a 1 minute chart, it was fast. I bought some right actually at 162.38 right over here on the way back up. And I got out, not even there. I got out with 2.5 points or so because I was just looking at it as a scalp. Anyways, that's your level. And now we're back positive for the day
Oh,
and like it didn't exist.
wow, that AMD is, like you just mentioned there, we are on one now, back up to 174 and change and starting to rip back up. Man, did you nail that at 162. Wow, Brian, incredible. And again, anchored VWAP. Some charting platforms will have it, some do not. But if they do not, make sure you request it. That was a great little look there. And then Microsoft, you
Right.
mentioned a little bit of love for MSFT down there as well. This name's a little more interesting to me, Brian, here because in the after hours we're kind of just like dancing here. So we make
I
that
know.
bottom at 400, then back up to 415. So I was a little focused there on AMD and the execution because we're back up to the upside. Let's just talk quickly. You said you put a year-to-date anchor on Microsoft. We've got this screen sharing, so let's go over there and have a quick look.
Yeah, I had posted this on Twitter earlier today as a level that, we've had this huge rally just
Yep.
recently in Microsoft. I said we have the possibility of a buy the rumor, sell the news. And if that's the case, I came into this with no position at all. The two levels I was going to look at were right here, the anchor from the beginning of that real move,
Okay.
the break higher. That's where we broke out. So I put an anchor there. That was the event. And if that were to fail, then the year-to-date anchor would have been the next level below that I would have looked for. Instead, we barely we had a little bit of volatility as you showed, but we're just dancing around unchanged. So very impressive action. We didn't get that same type of knee-jerk sell-off as we did in AMD.
That's so funny about these earnings. Like they're just so all over the place. Like I mean, if we just get that kind of a move in AMD, a little bit nervous for Nvidia to see where that one goes. Another name that I've really liked is Google. I mean, I love the space. Their Pixel, YouTube has been pretty hot as well lately. So I'll come over to my screen and maybe I'll let you load up Google. But a great move down. My basic mind says I like this 140 area, and we did dip down a little bit. We got to 143.50. This is just a 50-period moving average. I really like this, like the resistance turning into support here at 144 a day trade. We did have Google last earnings though, Brian, get down about 9% before making the move back up. So right here, Google down and hovering around 145. It looks like this is going to be the worst performer out of the three here. Are you seeing anything with those anchors on Google?
I am. So we, kind of the same story. It's the year-to-date anchor right now that's kind of, we're bouncing around. Now, it's not nearly as valuable as it was in AMD, but you'll also notice on the left, on the daily time frame, that year-to-date anchor is also right there at the 20-day moving average. So a lot of people look at that, of course. We have the prior resistance. It seems highly likely that we're going to hold above this 141 breakout. I personally, wouldn't buy this, unless I was looking to scalp it, which right now it looks like, the buyers aren't convinced so far. And the anchor from the earnings report, which I just put on this 1 minute chart, this in the shaded area is after hours. So the sellers are,
Okay.
dominating and defending that anchor. So there's clearly someone big feels there's a reason to get out.
Right.
And now if we take a look at, well, what about the anchor from the low? Kind of interesting that we're pinching between those. So I view that as right in here. If you were really a scalper, I would short below here with a stop above that. Or if it gets higher, buy above here with a stop under that level. That's for a real scalper, which I know you guys do a lot of that during the day. But aftermarkets, that's generally not my game. I made an exception in AMD today.
That was literally exactly what I was going to say. That looks like my trades, where you get sort of that barcode action and you're waiting for the break. To check this out, Brian, here, AMD, on the VWAP that I have, this is just a standard one. We just bounced off of just a generic VWAP there at 174 for advanced micro devices. I want to thank everybody, man.
For the day, yeah.
4,500 watching right now. Thank you so much to everybody. There's AMD bouncing off that, Brian. So what a great move that was, as you're down now 3%. But there's that VWAP move back in. And this is what I did today. Look at this. One set, like it was either go long or break lower there for advanced micro devices. And now we're starting to give a little bit back right there. Let me just check in before we go back to you just real quick. Microsoft, just want to see what the current movements are. So back down to 406. We'll watch out for that anchor down there at 401. And then Starbucks was a funny one. $90 again. You're going to show me something, Brian, that I'm going to be impressed with. I know that about anchor VWAP probably here on Starbucks. But look at this level on my screen. I mean, that 90 was pretty good, man, all the way back. So if we call up even a weekly chart on Starbucks, I kind of like that. And again, maybe this catalyst, there's the $90 hold, goes back. It was support. I guess it was resistance there, back down. Then we broke it and made that move back up. I really like this 190 level. And there we go again, trying to go back up, hitting that 97. Good report for Starbucks. Looks like it wants to break. Good level there at 90. I wish I would have bought it.
I'm not a big fan of Starbucks, truthfully, Shawn. It just kind of has been doing a whole bunch of nothing and just really choppy action the last couple of years, really. Yeah. It's running into the declining 50-day moving average right here at 97. That might hold it back a little bit. So, the thing I really want to point out here today, looking at all these charts that we've just looked at of all these big leaders, we've been able to find, and it's not retrofitting, but we've been able to find value with the anchored VWAP in every single one of them. If you know where to anchor, and it's basically just that there's price memory there, and the institutions will defend those levels like they did at AMD as it comes down to the year-to-date anchor. And as you just pointed out with Google, we ran up to the daily VWAP, and that's where it encountered some supply. It's really amazing to see these levels in action, and especially in real time.
The one thing that I know both you and I will always consider, trading is one thing. Risk managing, to me, is what it's all about. I mean, me and you can, and just like you said, sometimes it will seem like we're just cherry picking, but these are the rules that we follow. We look for these levels, we follow the rules, and if you follow the rules, it's very easy to then justify putting on more shares or whatever, because you've seen this happen before. You have a percentage that you're expecting. Like that scalp that you made, absolutely fantastic there on AMD. I'm going to ask you one more name.
Well, I was going to say real quick, I wasn't following my general rules, so it was much smaller share size, just to reemphasize the fact that risk management is so important. If you're going to do something outside of your normal, well, to do so with smaller share size. And don't do the woulda, shoulda, coulda. Wow, if I bought this many shares, right? Can I get a bang?
I mean, you can get much more than that. There we go. You got one of those. Okay, look, no, that's exactly the point. And I talk about that on the show all the time. I say this is a starter position. I don't like this until it gets to a certain level, and then I'll put on many more shares. The problem is just like you said, you do that woulda, coulda, shoulda thing, like, oh man, I wish I put a full default when you get an $8 winner like that, but you can't really do that. You got to look at it. All right. A name that people are saying, go woke, go broke. We're not doing politics on here though, Brian. Disney. So I'm going to give you a second. Could you look up Disney? Their report comes on February 7th. So come over to my screen right here, Fabian. No, come to mine. We'll let Brian look at that for a quick second. There it is. So Disney right now trying to break out on the daily. We're hovering around 96.50, Brian. I think we can break that. Again, for me, we bounced off the 200 simple. I really like that. That was also at a key level of $90. Disney, February 7th, coming out with earnings. Look, I just feel that we had Netflix. I don't know if you watch WWE or not, or Netflix, but they just had a pretty big deal there with TKO. Their Monday Night Raw was going to be $5 billion. So that's going to now go on to Netflix moving forward. I expect some to be done with ESPN, which is a Disney holding as well. ABC's a Disney holding. Hulu's a Disney property. I think they have some deals with, there's somebody else involved in that as well. But the idea here with Disney is, I think there's some catalysts. I don't love the name, but can we get a break to $100? Please tell me 104 is in sight. I don't know. What does it look like on Disney? I know I'm pulling at straws.
I can see it, Shawn. Here's why. When we look at this weekly chart, I've been kind of picking on Disney the last year and a half because it's done nothing but go down. And every time we've had these bounces, and some of them have been pretty good sized bounces, but these bounces, they've all failed. And they typically will fail when you have this, a declining 40-week or 200-day moving average.
Right.
So now when we look at that distribution up here and then the stage 4 decline, then we have all these moving averages crisscrossing, which represents stage 1 accumulation. It tells me now it's getting ready to move higher. Now the 40-week moving average is still declining, but this vertical line right here, this is where we were 40 weeks ago. So in other words, next week, we get rid of this data in the 40-week. This will be week 40, and this will be week 1 next week. That means that 40-week or 200-day moving average is going to start to rise ever so slightly. And then as we get rid of this data over here, it will continue to do so. So that tells me that if they didn't scare you out, they've worn you out. Now we're in a position where we're above all these key moving averages. It's maybe a little bit extended with these 3 weeks higher the last 3 weeks. So maybe a little pullback first. You said February 7th, I think.
Yeah,
maybe a little pullback and then buy that strength right there and sell it into the earnings would be the way I would be looking for a trade on Disney.
Yeah, so a week Wednesday there. Yeah, no, that's what I was nervous about, was just the extension over the last couple of days. Brian, I looked out and I see the time and it's 4:32. We got to go, but I got to say thank you so much for coming through. The time just flies. I mean, we could do this forever and forever, forever.
I know.
I just want to thank you as well. You put out that tweet, retweeted that podcast. We spend a lot of time on that, and I want to thank you for doing that. I'd love to have you on. We'll try to arrange that if we can. That's a lot of fun, and I want to thank you for sharing that as well, Brian.
Congrats. That was episode 11, correct?
Correct.
Okay, well, good.
There it is. We'd love to have you on, and we'll arrange that. But thank you so much. We had a record number of viewers right there. Here's his book. Hold on a second. I got it because we have, damn it, I'm dropping it. There it is. Here we go. Anchor, I gotta get the title proper because people are gonna Google this now. Maximum Trading Gains with the Anchored VWAP. Of course, it's Brian Shannon. Fantastic book. Some of the stuff we just talked about, it's all in here. Go find that at Alpha Trends. Thank you so much, Brian.
Thank you, everyone, all the viewers, and thank you, Shawn, and everyone at Trader TV.
Thank you so much, Brian. There it is. It's Trader Talk. Okay. Look, I told you that we're going to have the best guest period on the show. I mean, that's just what we're going to do, over and over and over again. Thank you so much, Brian. And you see, man, it's all about community. I really respect that guy, and thank you so much, Brian, for coming through. And man, did he nail that quick scalp on AMD. Thank you for the honesty there about the share size and everything. That's what we're all about here on the show, man. We can get some good trades. Doesn't mean we're going to get them all the time. Look, we're flat out of time, so we're not going to go over my tweets. If you want to go find those, we're not going to go over my trades. But the thing is, we traded 11 symbols today. 9 and 2. If you're watching the show, go watch me live. See ya, Kat. Watch me live every single day. And Neil, 8:30, we're going to be doing it. Oh, you know what, though? First of all, shout out to the man, the myth, the legend himself. It's Bears versus Bulls. We don't do the show without this moderation, man. Before, we used to have a bunch of you-know-what in the chat. Now, get those guys out of here. Shout out to Bears versus Bulls, the best in the business. That's for sure. Thanks, Brian. The book cover looks amazing. All right, what's up? Crypto cockatoo right there. I have a cockapoo at home, man. Belle, love you, Belle. She's amazing, that dog, man. What a great dog. All right, Travel Buddies here. Great show. Thank you so much, man. There's crypto cockapoo. Wants to talk about Mark? We'll do that tomorrow. Ryan's here. What's up? Lusick, you ain't gonna gift me it, but there you go. You get a shout out again. The Skip A, yo, what's up, Lava? What's up to the MVE? What's up to Michael Lloyd? Nikki Cutlets, I love that name as well. Oh man. Igor's here. Paulie D is here. Thank you, DJK, Tammy, KB, Derek Thompson. Everybody's here. Look, man, I wouldn't be able to do this without you. Wouldn't be able to do this without the support of all of the viewers. So thank you so much. Thank you for setting that record today. We're going to be back here tomorrow, set another one. And then Thursday, it's Apple. It's Meta. It's Amazon. You think we had some ideas today? We're going to have some for you come through that day as well. Quick check back. Go to the screen. I ain't done. 166 AMD making that move back down. Just a quick talk about the big four. Starbucks right now. Neil might not want to buy the coffee. I do. Starbucks, nice move to the upside. Google as well. I like that. We're barcoding. That's perfect. That's what we like. AMD, Google. What was the other one? Oh, yeah, my favorite. It's Mr. Softy. And Mr. Softy right now trying to bounce off 400. Again, thank you so much for watching. We're back tomorrow at 8:30. We're here. It's Trader TV Live. Thanks to Brian for that. That was huge. Thanks to Fabian for staying late. And thanks to all of you, man. Traders stay late. Use the hashtag. Go follow me at Trader TV on both Instagram and on X. Ciao.